Well, the holidays are here, and I'm so excited to talk about great gift ideas for the artist on your list, and even if that artist is you. Everything from sketchbooks to art classes, I'll give you the top recommendations to make you a gift-giving hero. This is a great set for anybody interested in picking up or learning how to do great graphite washes. These are pencils that actually turn into paint. They're water soluble when you add a little water, and they come in a really good variety of colors in this little Faber-Castell set. Comes with an HB, a 2B, a 4B, a 6, and an 8B. I've got the 6 and the 8 out of here because I already opened this and I use them quite a bit. All of these pencils really make really nice color in terms of the graphite wash, the flow of the wash, things like that. And I'll show you a little bit of that in a minute. The point is that this is a great little set. It's really affordable. So if there's somebody on your list that really is into trying something new, or they're already practicing graphite washes and things like that, and they're drawing, this is a great set. I would be happy to get this as a gift. So I can highly recommend this. I use it all the time. I use these pencils extensively, obviously more so with the 6 and the 8, but all of these are really good for learning how to do graphite washes and just practicing that, either in a sketchbook or large format sheets of paper, whatever you like. Faber-Castell, a really good brand as well. All right, moving along, let's talk a little bit about brushes. So this is a really handy gift for anybody who wants to pick up sketching or watercolor out there. This is the Pentel Aquash water brush. This happens to be a medium size here. But what's great about this brush is that you fill the reservoir with water, and then it's completely portable. You can take it anywhere with you. It's got this nice cap on it. I'll show you a demonstration here of this brush in action a little bit because I want to show you something else. But this is a great gift. I love getting these. My wife has gotten me a couple of these over the years, and they're always a great gift. Or a stocking stuffer. You can pick these up just about anywhere. You just Google it or use the affiliate links in the description below, as with everything I show you today. And don't forget to shop small businesses too, like our friends at Wet Paint. By the way, these are made in Japan and they're really good quality. They last a long time. They're nylon brushes, so you can learn all about them. There's tons of YouTube videos out there about these brushes, but they really work great, and any artist would be happy to get this. So the next thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is this Noodlers Triple Tail Fountain Pen. And this is a great fountain pen. I just recently did a short on this, but I wanted to demonstrate it here too for you quickly. It is, what makes this unique is it's on the tip of the fountain pen, it's got like 3 tines, so it separates. So you can get very thin lines and very wide lines. So if I just don't apply too much pressure, I can just get thin lines, but if I apply a little bit of pressure, I can get really thick lines, and you can put a lot of pressure on this. It's a nice rugged pen. But this is what's really good for writers who like to use a fountain pen in their writing. And the other thing about this is that when you're using it, it's really easy to hold in the hand. It's very ergonomic. Doesn't feel bulky, even though the pen seems a little big. It doesn't feel bulky at all. And what I like about the size is it can hold a lot of ink. Speaking of ink, this is the Blue Indigo ink from Diamine. This is a UK-based company. This is a forever ink. It's called Blue Indigo, as I mentioned. This is a pigment ink, so it will dry permanent, and it's going to last a long, long time. This particular ink is manufactured in Liverpool. And again, you have to look for the Diamine Forever ink line and then Blue Indigo if you like this color. I love this color. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to show you quickly with this. Once this ink gets dry, you can't really re-wet it. It's permanent. But while the ink is wet, we'll take a look at what you can do with a brush. So I've used this ink from everything from water to sky, and it works great. Get a little water there, and you can see if you catch the ink while it's wet, you can make really nice ink washes with it. And I love this, all different kinds of colors. If I had 10 of these pens, I would fill them all with different colors and just use them like that. These pens are pretty affordable when you consider what they do and that they're a really nice fountain pen and they're well built. The one complaint you'll see online about it is that, like all Noodlers ink pens, they have kind of an odor to them. I think it's in the processing of the plastic or whatever. It does go away over time, and I don't really even notice it anymore, but it's a funny odor. It's not a repugnant or repulsive odor, but sometimes it turns people off to have the plastic smell. But I really doesn't bother me at all. I love this pen so much that, that's easy to overlook. And of course, it's only there in the beginning. So really nice lines, really flexible so that you can adjust the width. I mean, if you do any kind of writing or fancy writing or even just regular writing, it's nice to have that flexibility. So again, this is the Noodlers ink triple tail fountain pen, which you can find online. Again, links to all of the stuff I show today down in the description below, but you could just Google that and find it as well. Let's talk a little bit about other gifts that your artist or sketch artist or friend or family may not have in their gear or kit. So this is one thing that I find comes in very handy. This is kind of like, it's called a composite grid or composition finder. And you basically look through this at a landscape or a portrait or still life or whatever, and you can kind of measure how you want or figure out how you want your composition to look based on the preview that you get from this. So you hold it up to it and you look at it. For instance, if I was going to draw that, I could hold that up and see what quadrant it was in and decide if I'm meeting the golden triangle rule or the Fibonacci rule or whatever I wanted to do with that. This one's kind of beat up. I use it a lot. It's in my sketchbook loose, so it's got some scratches and stuff. The other one is this view catcher, and this is kind of an adjustable one. You kind of slide in and out. I've got it somewhere here, but I thought the important part was to just kind of show you a little bit about the instruction booklet that it comes with, which is really nice because it's laid out and kind of gives you a little art lesson and how to find composition while explaining how this works. It's not really complicated. You just pull it in and out and adjust your composition, but knowing good composition is really important to leveling up your drawing and painting and sketching practice. So there's portrait stuff, still life painters, all that stuff, and then photographers, everything like that. So, and then they have some recommended books to kind of that talk through stuff like that. Landscape painters, it's all good. So really good book, really good device, the view catcher. It's not complicated. It's pretty easy to use, made in the USA. So those are handy gifts as well. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing when I mentioned the ink and the fountain pens. So one thing I know that is if you leave a fountain pen sitting around long enough, the ink will dry out. You need to clean your pen. Or if you pick up old pens or vintage pens and you just want to clean them up, I can really recommend this Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay pen cleaner. I've been using this for quite a while and cleaning the ink pens I have, and it works great. And it doesn't take much. A few drops will do, and it doesn't harm the metal parts, and it doesn't have any corrosive or toxic ingredients in it. And you can just soak the tip of your pen, and it cleans it really nice. And the same goes for the inside. So I've used this. I can highly recommend it. It is handy if you're a fountain pen person or you're just using a fountain pen in your sketching practice or drawing, inking practice, and you want to get it cleaned. All right, let's talk about sketchbooks, because that's been really exciting recently. That there's been a lot of great innovations and stuff like that in sketchbooks. And I wanted to talk a little bit about sketchbooks that I use and ones that I can recommend and ones that make great gifts for people. This is the 5x8 Pantalic Aqua Journal. This is the one that I discovered through James Gurney. He uses this in his practice. He's got lots and lots of sketchbooks filled, and they are almost all Pantalic Aqua journals. This particular journal is 48 pages. It's acid-free. It's got a nice texture to it. I love this texture. It's great for mixed media, watercolor, gouache, whatever, ink washes, graphite washes, all that stuff. They are made in China, and they're not super, super cheap, but they are pretty inexpensive when you compare them to other options. It's not cotton, but it is really heavyweight watercolor paper. So, and it's got a nice ribbon, and it does lay flat. So I use these a lot. I'll give you a couple of examples. This is the same book here that I did back in 23, and I watercolor in it, ink washes, graphite washes, some gouache there. But yeah, it doesn't really matter how much water I put on these pages. They seem to hold up really well. You can see I soaked that page pretty well, and the sketchbook had no problem. This isn't really a sketchbook tour. I just wanted to give you an idea of the kind of stuff you can do in these sketchbooks and without any problem at all. So pencil work, of course, but any wet media. And lastly, I'll just go through this one really quick. This was a field sketchbook. I did lots of stuff with watercolor, graphite wash, ink, so pencil, yep, and they work great. So highly recommend that sketchbook. There will be a link again in the description below, but if you're interested in a really nice gift, it's the Pantalic Aqua Journal. Couple other sketchbooks I can recommend. The Hanhemuhle watercolor book right here. This is not a 100% cotton sketchbook, but it is acid free. This is a 95 pound or 200 GSM paper. It's really nice paper. It's got a really good texture. Hanhemuhle has been making paper in Dassel, Germany for 500 years, so they pretty much perfected it, and they do a really, really good job. So I just wanted to mention this because they do have an entire line of different kinds of sketchbooks, tone sketchbooks, 100% cotton sketchbooks, even some bamboo paper sketchbooks, and all of them, every single book that I've ever used from Hanhemuhle has been outstanding, and I can highly recommend it. I've never had a problem, and if I've heard of anybody that's had a problem, Hanhemuhle immediately resolves it. So great company, great sketchbooks. Highly recommend Hanhemuhle. Lastly, on the sketchbook front, this is called Viviva. This is the Viviva sketchbook. Say that like Viviva sketchbook. Anyway, this is a 100% cotton sketchbook. It's also very affordable. This has 20 pages. Its design is a little different, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's 140 pound. It's got a cold pressed finish. Let's take a quick look. You'll notice that the format is a little taller than the Pantalic Aqua journal. It's a little wider than that. So you'll see you get a little bit more real estate in this book. And you open it up and you'll notice that it is seamed here. This is a little bit interesting, but I've never had any trouble with that coming apart. And then you open it from this bright white here, and you'll notice that the color of the paper is a little bit ivory or off-white. And you'll notice some little specks in it too. That's because this is handmade paper. So it's really nice. It's got a nice sketch texture. Now, you're not going to get a perfect lay flat with this particular book early in the book, but once you get towards the middle, you can get some more, flexibility and more lay flat characteristics from it. But for the price, this is a really reasonably priced sketchbook. It's got this nice band on it. It's really nice and tight. And again, made in India, good quality. I can recommend this. And again, it's really affordable. So if you've got somebody in your life who's an artist, or you yourself want to pick up a really nice sketchbook, this Viviva sketchbook made in India is really nice. This is the A5 size. They make us several different sizes as well. So the A5 is just 5.8 by 8.3. So it's a little taller, which is cool, but yeah, you get a little bit more real estate. Still fits in a bag or a backpack. So as long as we're on papers, let's talk a little bit about the paper that I can recommend. I love Fluid 100, the cold press finish. This is also a 100% cotton paper, which is really nice. It's acid free. It's made in the USA. And this paper, I do a lot of work on this paper and I love it. It's got this nice cream color to it and it's got a beautiful texture. And I'll talk a little bit about that texture, which comes down to preference a lot of times for people. But what I like about this texture is that it does have a tooth, but it's not so toothy. It's not a bristle. It's not super smooth, but it doesn't have like, it doesn't try to, be a really rough paper or anything like that. And it's even a little smoother on the opposite side. So if you like a little bit smoother paper, especially for you, like graphite wash or ink wash or even watercolor artists, you might like that a bit more than a really toothy paper. This is excellent. It's again, it's got that nice ivory color. I love that. This paper, I often cut it down to size and make smaller paintings that I take with me, pieces of paper that I take with me in the field for smaller paintings. It's just really nice paper and it's super affordable, which is great. It's made in the United States, good quality. One thing I will say about this paper that just to add that is when you're shopping for it or you go look for it, and I'll have links down in the description. By the way, Speedball makes this. They've been around forever, North Carolina company. Their number's right there if you ever have to call them. But they're a great paper. Oh yeah, here's what I was going to mention quickly. This set is sheets. So you'll see here in the gray margin here, it says sheets. Now you can get this in a 22 by 30 or 16 by 20 size. This happens to be the 8 by 10. So let me add that into there. I don't know why it's not listed, but there you go. These are the sheet sizes that you can get, and you can get them in cold and hot press in different weights, which is cool. If you don't specify, you'll find this stuff online and you won't notice this, but it'll be a block. So blocks are great for watercolor and you can separate them like with separate the sheets with a X-Acto knife or something. But if you don't want to fuss with that, you can just get the sheets and use it a sheet at a time. So that's just a heads up if you're going to go shop for that. Fluid 100 paper, highly recommend, good stuff. Okay, that brings me to Lockbee. And just full disclosure, I'm a Lockbee ambassador. I love their products. I reached out to them to ask them how I could partner with them on their products because I love them. I'd been using the Lockbee tool roll for years. I still have mine. It's sitting over there. It's been through a lot. And I just love their product. So it started out with that tool roll and just grew from there. But if you open this up, it's got room for every kind of pen, pencil, brush you want to carry. It's got pockets. This ripstop liner inside of it keeps everything waterproof. This is like a really nice, it's kind of like a tent liner, but it keeps everything super dry. I know because I've soaked my other one. It's been out in the rain, snow, rough country, and it's just held up fine. And it's made like super durable. So everything is like double or triple stitched. And then this is like an aluminum clasp. The stuff's not going to break. I love the high quality. So it's designed in North America, made in Vietnam, and they just do a really good job. I put this through a pretty rigorous test recently, including a fire test, a water test. So you might want to go and take a look at that video. It's the one just before this one. But Lockbee, highly recommend. Use my affiliate link and get 10% off Lockbee. And you can find that link down in the description below. Great products. So that brings me to a book, which I can highly recommend as a great gift for any artist, sketcher, anybody who's interested in art, even passively, this is the Sketcher's Bible. Written originally in 1982 by James Gurney and Thomas Kincaid. You might know James Gurney from Dinotopia and Thomas Kincaid as the painter of light. Well, between the original publication and this publication, it's been like 40 years. And in that time, Thomas Kincaid passed away, but James Gurney wanted to reissue this book. He connected with the Thomas Kincaid family, and he was able to get all of the old original work and recompile this book in a brand new format, which is really great. It says the classic book about making art on location, but really it's the Sketcher's Bible. And I've done a lot of reviews on this book, many recommendations. What I can tell you is that this book by itself will help unlock many of the secrets to being a better sketcher. So this is the expanded and remastered edition. You can find the original out there, not super easy to find, but you can still find it. But I recommend this edition because right now it's got all of the updates that you're ever going to need. It's really in clear, simple, easy to implement instructions. And not only that, the art is great, but James and Thomas Kincaid did a great job originally. They traveled the country, going from place to place, jumping rail cars, and here they are here, and they did all this field sketching. And then when they got back, they found a publisher and they put this together because they wanted to share what they learned, the tools they used, and some of the ways you can unlock the magic of sketching and become a better sketcher. By the time you get done reading this book, you'll covet it, you'll appreciate it, you'll have learned so much about how to be a better sketcher. It has certainly helped me level up, and everybody I recommend this book to, they simply love it. So again, highly recommend this book by James Gurney and Thomas Kincaid. If you go to James Gurney's website and order directly from the artist, that's the best way to do it. And he may even, if you ask him to, he will personalize it for you. So really great book from a great artist. And if you're not familiar with James Gurney, go out, check out his YouTube videos. He's not only a great artist, he's an outstanding teacher, and you will learn so much. So this is a really great gift, and it is super affordable. So go get yours today from the James Gurney website. Make sure he gets the proceeds. All right, if you like to give the experience gift, let's talk a little bit about how you can do that as well. I teach a series of classes through my friends at Wet Paint. And since an art class is both an experience and a learning gift, I think that's pretty cool. If you're considering taking an art class or know someone who might benefit and enjoy a class, check out all of Wet Paint's offerings. They have art classes for any level and all types of media. I teach a course called The Joy of Field Sketching, which is designed to give you lots of hands-on learning. The course covers watercolor, ink washes, graphite washes, and the techniques used to get better at all those mediums. It's a completely remote class, so anyone anywhere can join us. The course meets for 2-hour sessions once a week in the evenings and spans 6 complete sessions. If that's too much of a commitment for you, you can take the classes individually. Whether it's the beginner, intermediate, or advanced class, they're all designed to stand alone. Students who've taken the classes have really good things to say. I also teach a gouache class, which is a 2-hour session, also remote, and covers all the basics of using gouache for landscapes, still lifes, and even portraiture. The courses tend to fill up pretty fast and may have a waiting list, but if you jump online soon, I happen to know there are still a few openings for the winter courses. The gift of original art is always a great option. If you stop by my Etsy site, you'll find some original watercolors and gouache paintings, as well as some very limited prints for sale. If you order from my Etsy site before the 17th of December, you'll receive your order before Christmas. Sorry that I don't ship internationally at this time. The costs are just really prohibitive. I post new work occasionally, but since they're all one-of-a-kind originals, they don't tend to stick around long. This year, for the first time ever, I'm offering some very limited edition prints of this watercolor painting I did of the Landmark Center in St. Paul. These are all printed on archival, high-quality paper and hand-signed. To keep things affordable, I'm offering these in several sizes. Don't forget to check out the links below for great discounts on all the supplies I mentioned in this video. Here's wishing you the merriest of holidays and a very happy new year.